Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fru Karl, and I'll be your host for this session. I put in 3 years of studies in computer application in Mangalore University of India to show for it in accordance with the requirements upon completion. My personal passion for what I do, I am required to create a software package of any nature. After a series of talks with a few persons, my dad, one very inspirational of them, I felt motivated and inspired to design this computer application I call Njangi House. I saw a problem that I wanted to be part of the solution, or better still, to start the solution. Now, what is Njangi House? The Njangi House computer application is a standalone desktop financial application. This application will keep track of members of a meeting group, the savings they make, the loans they take, the refunds they make, and other income and expenditure within the meeting group. The application then automates the interest on the loans based on variable interest rates set by the meeting. It automates the interest on savings by intuitively and proportionately sharing an amount set by the meeting to members with savings based on the amount saved and the period saved, of course the duration of savings. The application also performs checks and balances on income and expenditure, providing a financial statement for the meeting group at any time T. In summary, Njangi House is designed to ensure accuracy, transparency, and fairness in financial meeting groups with savings, loans, interest schemes. So the program loads with a splash screen and with a login dialog box for authentication. Provide a user ID and password. Assume we don't want to log in. We forgot our password. What can we do? Say, give the wrong password. So we can click the option of forgot password, where we are requested to provide a username. And the secret question will be popped up where we have to give the right answer, without which we are not permitted to reset the password. So unless we provide the right answer, then we can reset the password, and new passwords must match. See, they don't match. Here we don't want to reset the password. So we are trying to log in again, this time with the right information. Pause up our main container with the options, the dashboard with all the various forms we can load, reports where we can display our results. We have a good number of options. We have options also for setting up the program, the help menu. We start off with the meeting sessions, which is very important, where we can set the current session, as we can see there, because the current session determines what we are working on, where we can set the start date, the end date, loan factor, the base savings, the loan interest rate, the savings interest rate. We can edit those, as well as we can even create a new session. That's very important when we have to start a meeting here. We can also sort the various sessions if we are looking for a particular record, easily find one. Assume we want to register a member. That's where we start off from. We get this pull-up form. We can add from here, from there, or from up there. We have a number of options. So we are requested to provide the member name and a date, which is optional, which you can use the date picker to pick dates with ease, or we can simply fit the date of today it loads in. We can save the record or save a new. Use the save a new option. It adds the record and gives us permission to add a new record without closing the dialog. That's enough. We want just the new record we have added. So we have test member. Now a new member has been added. We can have savings, loans, and the rest for that member. We can add, edit, delete that record. The options are wide. We can scroll back and forth, reaching the first record, we are informed, and we can move to the last record, which is our member we just added. Now, as we want to edit, we change the T to an uppercase, and the members we corrected and we update. Tells us operation is successful. So we have test members again, which we can delete. Well, we don't want to delete in this case. We can activate or deactivate a member's status. So it tells us the current status. The member is currently active, but I would like to. No, we don't want to. Now, let's work on savings for this member. It tells us this member has had no savings yet, but it pulls up the form though. So we can start recording some savings for this member. And we find a list of all the other members in the combo drop-down list. Arrange your forms. Say, let's select different members. Once we click on the savings link from the members form, it automatically loads that member, like the selected member, in the combo box. See, we can add records for that member. We use saving, we enter an amount, we enter the date, which if we don't, we are not permitted to go forward. So we can pick up today's date, or we can use our calendar, but we want today's date. So if we try to save, the amount has got an issue, so there are validity checks to make sure all data entered is authentic. So we must enter the right amount. Save now. We are permitted, and that operation is successful. So we click, so it loads up the data with extra data that the program has handled for us. We can handle those. Same thing, loads up that same member as a selected item. A list of items in the combo. We can add loans for this member. We can save and add a new record. We don't want to add a new record here, so we could just cancel and proceed. See, the program automates a good number of things. Look at that. We had borrowed some items from our meeting option, but above all, here it calculates the interest the member gets on that loan. So that's how much the member is supposed to pay. So the total loan becomes that the program automates, and we can sort as well to search for a particular record with ease. Let's move to refunds. Assume this member wants to pay back a loan. Same procedure. Let's up this member's name, our combo list, the list of other names. This member's name has been loaded automatically. We just need to pick a particular loan ID, so the member is permitted to take more than one loan at a time, but each loan is kept separately. Select the particular loan, add a refund for that loan, enter the amount, provide the date. We can save that record. So we have a new record for the member. See, the program has automatically authenticated a good number of issues. It tells us what was the total loan, what is the balance. It's the total loan member had minus what he has paid, so it gives us the balance. No hassles. Now it's a duty for us to report, but each of the forms we made already has a feature to report on it. See, member savings, loans also, you can report from each form. Refunds, you can report from each form. But we close all of this. We want to report from the general window, the main container. So we have savings, where we can try a simple report, like a details report for savings. It loads, you can get the savings details. You can find each member and each meeting day, how much was saved by each member, total for the meeting day. Look at our new case we added. Say he had saved only on the last day. So you see the amount he saved, right, as we expected, and we find the total savings also. Not more, we have chart representation by chart. and a line chart with also a bar chart for the members' IDs displayed down there and the amounts. This gives us a visual representation which is clearer and neater to see. Same could be said about loans, where we can find out about detailed loans. I'm just picking a sample report. You could pick many other features. There are quite a good number of options. Here the loans detailed report is a bit loaded. In each member's case, we don't only see the loan, but we see the loans, the interest that was earned on that loan. As you can see, our test member's case, and the total amount expected, which is the interest plus the loan. You see a general overall analysis also for the meeting for that day, for the entire period, and the total loans that have been taken, the total interest, and the totals we expecting back for the loans and the interest. Same, we also have a chart representation. It makes it visually appealing. A pie chart and a line chart, plus a bar chart which displays each member's loans and savings. See, member with ID 29 has got the highest loans. Same could be said for refunds. In general refunds for the current session. It gives us a small, nice, clean report with a chart also for representation. Makes it clearer to see. We see what day we had the highest refunds. Now, it's important also within the meeting to compare sessions, the different savings. See, we can find that feature everywhere. Now, as you want to compare savings with different sessions, see, we are able to pick up from each meeting session where we get this end date to the start date, or the start date to the end date, whichever, and compare the sessions. One more juicy factor in the Njangi House application is the overall analysis for loans, interest, and savings. So we load up this form, which gives us a summary of each member's savings, loans, interest, and so on and so forth, where we can set different parameters. That's the juicy factor of it. Let's go back to that form we loaded previously. Now we have a good number of options. We may be looking for members only with savings that a particular amount, let's say savings of that much. That only we want to say. Say loads up a form with the members and who have savings only for that amount. See the parameter list. The parameter displays the amount we requested. Let's get more out of it. We want members with some particular savings. Let's say that very amount. But this time around, let's indicate their loans and interest. We could have loans, we could have interest, but we want the loans and the interest in this case. Let's indicate we want their loans and their interest less than or equal to, let's say, this amount. See what the loads are for us. Great. Members, the savings just like we requested, and their loans and interest less than or equals to. So the parameter bar makes sure we are clear about what we have on the report. It's a juicy form. It's got about thousands of options, thousands of combinations for reports we can get. Now, we can also load for a particular member. Let's look for a test case, test member. His own summary. Great. And it pulls up the data like we expect to see it. That's nice. Now, the key feature of Njangi House is the ability to intuitively and proportionally share an amount to member shares or savings. So it pops up that dialog for us to enter the amount we want to share. Let's say that much. Okay. See, it does performs the magic, calculates the interest on each person's savings and how much percentage each member is supposed to get. Let's get a closer look at this form. What do we have here? See the number of meeting points each member has earned. Look at our test case, just one. And the number of saving points, which is the meeting points, times the saving points. It gives us the total points the member earns. See the interest percentage, actually how much is that interest, and it gives us the total which that member is due, which is the savings plus the interest. See, it's intuitive. Look at our test case and look at some other member with the same or less saving than the test case. See, they have almost the same interest because the member has got higher savings, but the other one started saving for many sessions. That's a key feature in Njangi House application. We could even view for other sessions we had created already. The application keeps track of them. For instance, we don't have any report here. We hadn't created any already. So we could view for this case we had created this current meeting session. Pulls up that same report just like we expect. So this is really the key feature. And I forgot to mention what we can do with our reports. We can print them off directly, or we can export to different formats, maybe PDF format. You see the number of formats there. PDF format we want to attach to an email, or to a Word document format, or to an Excel format. The results are quite amazing. This is a feature of Jasper reports, quite a handy tool in reporting. So that's a PDF format. We also have a Word document with the same report, and we could have a spreadsheet as well of the same report. So you see, you have a wide range of options. You can even export this like an HTML document. It's up to the user and his intentions for this report. We have other member income, which pulls up a nice and simple form too, with a few number of options where we can select a particular heading, or we can add a new heading. Let's enter one more heading. Okay, we save that. So if you look in our combo box, that heading is available. Where we can edit that heading, we can delete that heading. Let's say we want to edit. Add more data. Great, copy that. That's been edited. Fine, we have it. It tells us there are no subheadings for that current heading. So we can still delete that. We don't want to at the moment. Just go back to edit. Oh, but let's delete to prove our point. So we find that heading is no longer in the combo box. Could we add that heading since we had copied, we just paste it. And we save, fixing a few things. Great. Now if we select that heading, it tells us there are no subheadings yet. So you see, we could have a major heading and the subheadings for the income or expenditure. Now we could add some subheadings for that major heading and an amount that is expected of every member. Great. So we find the option we added. We could have it for income, gives us that heading with the amount and the ID. And it could be income or expenditure. We're currently dealing with income. When it comes to expenditure, you see the heading pops up. So it could be income or expenditure, whichever. There are no records. So we can add, put up a form. We just need to select member names. The date and the amount loads up for us automatically. Here, save and new becomes very handy because we want to add a good number of members. We don't have to close that form. So while we are adding, our database is being updated automatically, and we can keep on adding and adding. Let's say that's enough. We have 4 members. Look at the total. It's that much, which is the sum of what each of them has contributed. So the program automatically calculates that for us. No stress, no hassle. We could edit a particular record. We could even delete one of the records. Maybe we made some mistake adding a name. We don't have to. The totals readjust accordingly. Let's work with some expenditure. Same thing. Same procedure. No need for a member name this time around. Just an amount And the date of that expenditure, pick user date picker, will enter the current date. And description could be necessary for that expenditure item for the sake of reports and to remember what we had dealt with previously. Is it the description? We save that. Okay. Load up that, see it fills up that information for us on the forms. Final description. We could also load other income and other expenditure. We do all this. Other income and other expenditure, we actually have the same form where we have different options. As soon as we load, we find the amounts. So we can add a heading and we enter the heading name. We save that. Great. So if we add that heading, we find it in our combo list, select the heading, you see there is no total for any heading here. Notice that the combo, that's items are completely different. Income is different from expenditure. Speak like income, see the transactions we have. Another case where we find, see the records that we entered previously, the totals. We can even edit previous records where we change totals. Most probably don't want to. We deal with our new test case. Let's speak of that item we added. Tells us we have no transactions yet, which we can add. So we set amount and a date. And a description could be very handy here. Let's add that record. Good. We have it now, which you can select to perform more tasks. We can edit that or delete that. We could correct, update. Nice. Great. So we have that record which we can scroll through. We have just one record, no need to scroll. And we can even sort them. We have one record that may not be too necessary at the moment, but it comes in very handy when we have a large list. So there could be income, there could be expenditure, and we could report on our various forms. Remember other income and other income. Let's say we want remember other income, sub item, the case we dealt with, our test case. See post of this detailed nice form. We get transactions for the day. We could do same for other income, where we could pick up for a particular heading. Let's try our test case. So loads up a small nice form with the description. You could also do the same thing to find out a general for member other income. See, the options for the reports are many. It depends on what the user is after. You always find your option amongst the lists. Some very handy tool about Njangi House as well is the ability to update us with the current financial status of the meeting. Say at any one time, see we can get what's our balance, the total income, the total expenditure. So we have savings that, no expenditure on savings, and we have loans, other member income, other expenditure and income, and we can get the balance overall. So at any time T, which we can query for not just for one meeting session, we can query even for a particular period. Let's look at that instance. Okay, let's say we want for a particular session. We can get that report or a particular period where we provide a start date, let's say from this period. See, at any one time we can get our financial status to this period. Well, I'm entering start to end period of a meeting session, so our report seems to be similar with the previous, but we could get our financial status for a particular day. That is another key feature of Njangi House. Let's close this. So that is the much Njangi House has to offer. We have seen the settings form from the start. We can edit the user's profile, so we can change the names. Here we'll be requested to provide the correct password before we can carry out any changes or save the changes to our database. See, we try to do that without the password. we are not permitted. And if the current password we provide is a wrong one as well, you may enter the same current password. Same passwords to change. If you try to do that with the wrong current password, it is not an operation that is legal. Assume we have the right current password, but in the course of changing our passwords, the new passwords don't match, still we have a problem. So for everything to be authentic, we need to play by the book. Follow the rules is there. We have also general meeting options where we can set certain things we don't like. We want them to stop. For instance, some people don't like when closing your programs, a dialog box keep popping up asking if they want to close. They say they are sure about what they want to do. So we have options to prevent that message from coming on or off. It's up to the user, his taste or preferences. We also have a little help menu where we can download a help file. The download feature entails that our help file stays up to date. So if we are connected to the internet, let's assume we want to download this help file. It downloads this file. Yep, that's fast. Downloads it to a directory in our program, our current program directory. So we can search for that help file. Great. And a little wide open. Good. And that's it. Simple 2-line text that was downloaded from the website for the application. We could even check the about version to see what version we are dealing with. Currently we have 1.0.0. The version is quite important when it comes to update. We could visit a website that says for the program at the moment. Still a feature from within. We could find a good number of tools within this website also to assess the program. Okay, that's not of interest at the moment. One more greater feature within Njangi House is the ability to update the application, ease of access within the comfort of your home. Say you click to update. If it finds any version different from your version, any updates, then the new version will be loaded. In our case, we don't have any updates, so that much is fine for us. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you subscribe for my next video with something even more interesting and intriguing. Stay blessed.